Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I thought I'd just show you a bit of stud work. It's fairly simple as carpentry goes, but there's two different ways really I find tending to do it. One is to build the frame as you go. The other way, which we're going to do today, is just to build the frame on the floor and then just erect it into the space. I've just got to try and get a bit of space in amongst these guys.
That's right, you're taking over.
Always spread themselves out a bit too much, these electricians, I find. But I'll get all set up, get all the pieces cut, and then we'll, I'll show you how I put the frame. Okay, so I've got these two lengths here, they're 2.4s. At the minute I've only got 2.4 timbers, but when I'm building frames on the floor I tend to find 2.4s usually long enough anyway just to handle and put up, and then I butt another one alongside it. I'll show you that a bit later. So on here, that's my top rail and the bottom rail. So what I do then is line those up together, mark them out so I know all the lines line up together. I always start this one at about 375, 380 instead of at 400 so that I can get my 400 centre. When the plasterboard starts, it'll hit the middle, hit the centres of those timbers rather than the edge. So it's always important just to offset those slightly. Don't go 400 to that edge. So now those are marked, I've got my other timbers all cut to the right length there. I can nail all those together. And then that frame will be ready to go up, and I'll show you that. So I've got the frame all nailed in. I know it's fairly obvious a lot of this, but 2 nails in each one. It stops it twisting and obviously it's more secure. We will need a row of noggins through there. I tend to usually just get the frame up and then run all the noggins in after. You can do it either way, you can do it now or after. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't really make much difference. So that's going to go in there, and then I'll erect this, and then we need to fix it into that Thermalite wall. So I'll show you when I get that up. Okay, the stud work's up. I've levelled that up. Just a quick thing on levelling up. When you're levelling anything up, you've got a timber that's got a bit of a bow in it. These ones are all pretty good, but if you've got a slight bow in the middle of the timber, a little bit awkward to show you with the camera in there.
Would you like to be cameraman, please, Steve?
You can do if you want.
I'm going to be cameraman.
Then, right.
Hold on.
Do you want me to start this again? Or?
No, nearly swore then. Nearly swore, but I didn't. Nearly. I didn't, nearly.
So when you've got a bow in the timber, sometimes your level will rock. These ones, do you want to find one there? This is one. See where you've got it tight at the bottom, gap at the bottom. It will rock a bit. Won't give you a very good reading. If you've got one like that, just make sure you're on the other side. Have the gap in the middle. So then it's touching top and bottom, it will give you a better reading. And obviously the longer the level, the more accurate.
So if you were using like a 4-foot level, obviously it won't be as good to show you on that, would it?
Yeah, as good, because you'll only be reading it from this point to this
point. That's a bit of a top tip, I reckon there, Steve.
Top tip.
Living the dream.
Okay, so fixings wise, obviously for most of these up here, it's just with a nail gun. Obviously you've got to be careful with the nail gun, because you can go through pipes and electrical cables.
Yeah, watch the cables, not so bothered about the pipes so much, but yeah.
So then, what we've done then, to drill into the wall, the Thermalites are a bit of a pain to get into because they're quite difficult to get a fixing in. Generally the best way I find is just with a red plug and then a size 5 screw. These are 80mm long screws. You can use hundreds as well. Use a 5.5mm drill bit for a 6mm plug. Just makes it a little bit tighter so that it holds a bit better.
Yeah, because they say to use a 6mm, don't they? But every time you use a 6mm, it's too baggy, isn't it?
Yeah, always better than a 5.5. So those have all been pre-drilled. Push the plug in, hammer it so it's flush, take the screw, I usually just turn it a quarter of a turn just to hold, hammer that in so far till you get about 10-15 mil sticking out, and then that'll pull that on. Like you say, you never get a brilliant fixing with the Thermalites. See, I got one there in the brickwork, that one should be a lot stronger. What we'll do, we get all those fixed, and then where there's a few gaps, I'll foam that up as well. It'll just give a little bit more stability on there.
Yeah.
Thermalites are a bit of a nightmare.
They're naff, aren't they, really? So they're good for their thermal values, but that's about it. Yeah. From a construction side, like I say, they're great for the lads on the trowel, isn't it? You know, but after that, that's
Yeah, they're nice and light to lay and that sort of thing, but no good for us.
everybody else. Yeah, for everybody else, they're a nightmare. So
Yeah, so
but no.
So I get that. I'll finish getting this fixed up, and then I'll start getting a bit more of the stud work in, and then on this one we've got a pocket door to fit. So we've already made the frame up previously, so that's got to be fitted in next. So they're a little bit more work involved with the pocket door, but they're all right once you get used to the end and you know what you're
Pretty much pocket doors in the whole house here, aren't they? Pretty much.
Yeah, there's 4 pocket doors in this.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, isn't there?
So we should be getting good at them.
Yeah, that's it. By the end of it, you know what you're doing with them. There's another drum in the van.
Right, I've got I put a timber up against there, levelled up, and I've managed to use the laser level then just to run the line across, so we know that we've got a nice clear line down that whole wall. I've put this frame in. I prefer to put the frame in and then build around. I know somebody's probably going to go on about it, but at least then I can get that nice and level, and then I can build in around it and make it quite nice and snug, and I just feel like we get a better finish from it like that, rather than trying to build an opening and then drop one of these in. But there we go. I'm sure someone will tell me the reasons why this is bad, but that's the way I do it. The rest of the studding's in now. Got this piece in, this piece across the head, and we've managed just to fix all this frame up now, so that's going nowhere. So then the last thing to do is just to run the noggins through there. On these bits where the two join, if you are using the Paslow gun, just a little tip is, because they're 90mm long, those nails, never put your hand behind it while you're firing for a start anyway, but also when you fire, I fire at a slight angle because I tend to find by the time they've sunk into the timber slightly, they usually push out just the other side, so it's just a bit friendlier just not to have them sticking out. So yeah, so we'll get those noggins done, and then it's all ready for boarding.
Doing it for the team.
So we got the noggins in now. I thought I'd just tell you a little bit. I probably didn't explain much on those things before. I kind of forget about these things sometimes. Normally I just measure up from the ground. Normally I do it 1200, but we get a lot of complaints recently from these guys.
Do you know what? It is bloody annoying with the noggins, so when you get that. So yeah, so...
Whose video is this? Quiet.
Sorry, pipe down.
So, normally now I put them at 1300 just because they want to put all their back boxes in at that height. So that's why they're slightly higher. So I usually just mark it, grab my 6 foot level that up, draw the lines. Whenever you're levelling around using a level, it's always best just to spin it each time. And then if your level is slightly out, then it should reverse that on the other way around. So it's just one of those little things. And then usually I just stagger them because it's just easier to nail through, and it really makes no difference in terms of structure. But when those go in, that makes the wall a hell of a lot more solid. So really important to get those in, because I know they look a little bit annoying and that sort of thing to do, but they do strengthen the wall massively, and they also pull any of the studs in line a bit more. Sometimes you've got a bit of bows and twists, things like that. It straightens them out a bit. So there we are. one stud wall, complete with pocket door. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.